you're proud of your family, just as I am.
Correct.
To subject my wife into the middle of a raucous political conversation was completely inappropriate, and I hope you apologize for that, Donald.
Well, I have to tell you, I hear phenomenal things. I hear your wife is a lovely woman.
She is.
I
She's
don't
fantastic.
know her, and this
She
is
is
a total
absolutely the love of my life, and she's right here. And why don't you apologize for her?
No, I won't
right
do that
now.
because I said nothing wrong, but I do hear she's a lovely woman.
That was Donald Trump and Jeb Bush mixing it up over remarks that Trump made about Jeb's wife, who is a Mexican-American, suggesting that Jeb has to like immigrants because he's married to one. Just one of the more tense moments of the night. Joining us now, Joe Trippi, former presidential campaign manager for Howard Dean and a Fox News contributor, and conservative commentator Ann Coulter, author of Adios, America, the left's plan to turn our country into a third world hellhole. We start tonight with Ann. Ann, good to see you. Let's just get this out of the way right now, because tonight you caused a lot of upset on Twitter because you tweeted out, because the candidates were talking about support for Israel in their closing statements. How many effing Jews do these people think there are in the United States? You got hit from the left and the right. Jeffrey Goldberg of The Atlantic, Ann Coulter just lost my vote. John Podhoretz, holy blank, Ann, shame on you. Do you want to take that back?
No, I had just tweeted the question well, actually, I was tweeting all night that all the candidates were pandering. I wrote my column about it. They seem to be hitting certain boxes. Have to mention Reagan, have to mention that they're pro-life, have to mention Israel. Yeah, the entire Republican Party is pro-Reagan, pro-life, pro-Israel. The last question was, after you're president, how will America be better? And suddenly we're back to Israel again. It's just this checking off of the boxes and the virtue boxes, and it's one of the things I like about, in fact, I think they're probably pandering, which was the subsequent tweet, they're probably pandering to evangelicals, not Jews, but it's just pandering, something we all agree on. It's not really separating the candidates.
All right, let's talk about Trump and he had that exchange on immigration. How do you think he did?
Fantastic. I mean, what's interesting is, they're all backing down on immigration now that they have Trump to disagree with them. Now, you know, Rand Paul says, yes, he's right on the 14th Amendment. Carly Fiorina didn't bother disagreeing. She's probably justifiably embarrassed that she forgot about the Civil War. You had Chris Christie, who said it was going to be impossible to deport the illegals. He backed down on that. All Carly had to say was to complain that Obama didn't do something about immigration. So she's joining La Raza and Univision to say that Obama didn't pass amnesty, but we're not really getting into it. I mean, what it shows me as well, either we need you back as a moderator, or how about have the candidates just debate with one another? I thought the questions I mean, the last question actually was about Reagan. How much do we have to talk about Reagan? He was president 35 years ago.
Even his son,
it was a different world.
Ron Reagan Jr. has come out and said, can we stop that? My dad never ran around comparing himself to anybody. Why does he have to be the benchmark for everybody? Ann, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Joe Trippi's here as well. Joe, as a Democrat, your reaction?
Look, I thought most of the candidates had a pretty good night. I think Carly had a great one, as people have been saying. But the thing that struck me was how much these candidates went after each other. A lot of that was the format of the debate.
It was the intention of the moderators. They stated that beforehand.
Right, but the way it all worked out, I mean, they did take on Obama and Hillary occasionally, but it really made this more, in terms of, you know, going out in front of people and taking on the Democratic Party, there wasn't a whole lot to be worried about tonight. The debate seemed to be on things like immigration, where the fight between Bush and Trump on that really kind of is the whole argument of, you know, deport them all, or
Let me ask you this.
Something more reasonable that
Sorry, you represented, you know, helped Howard Dean, and he had the scream. Is there anybody tonight you think they're done?
No, I wouldn't say that at all. Look, I do think there's going to be a shakeup in the polls. I would expect Carly to rise pretty significantly off this performance. She did very, very well. I thought Rubio did very well. I didn't see anyone, though, sort of walk themselves off the tracks. I think Trump did well. I don't think he's going to rise off this performance, though.
And how important is this to the fundraising that's going to come next? Because that's usually what gets them to leave. They don't get money, they get out.
No, and I think several of them did very well, and you're going to see millions of dollars. You know, Ted Cruz was on O'Reilly earlier and did his website 3 times during the interview.
How about Christie? There was so much talk about him. You think he's in it? He was at 1%.
Yeah, no, look, I think Chris Christie did himself a lot of good as well. I think Bush did himself well.
Did?
Yes.
Great to see you, Joe. We'll be right back.
Good to be
Don't
with
go
you.
away.